Welcome. I'll be reacting to Blake's 7, Season 4, Episode 11. This is a commentary. It is not a market substitute. Please support the original currently on BritBox and no spoilers in the comments.
Nitrogen, methane and argon predominate, also traces of free ammonia and sulfur compounds.
Ooh.
It is unsuitable for your illustrious life form, Master.
Oh, she has a braid today.
All right, I'm a volunteer.
Do I hear 3? No. I didn't think I would.
You know I like to stick with you, Avon, where it's safe.
Interesting.
They're here. Come and see.
They don't get many visitors, do they? Look at all those snacks, too. They are giving me old married couple vibes. I love it.
Avon, if I'd got my hands on that kind of money, I'd have gone somewhere where I could enjoy it. What's the point in having money if you're going to exist in a lifeless hole like that?
You are
Like Neomos or something.
He has a brain.
Oh, yeah? Well, if you had one, it might have occurred to you this could be a Federation trap.
Well, of course it's occurred to me. What is it, slave?
My humble apologies for interrupting your noble thoughts.
Just get to the point.
Some inferior person is attempting to communicate on the audio link.
This is a slightly unrelated thought, but hearing that conversation with the computer. Some of you may know I am actually a movie critic for the newspaper, and I just started working on my column for the movie Origin, which is fascinating, and it studies the phenomenon that humanity tends to artificially impose hierarchies and has done that throughout history. I just thought that's exactly what happened here with, I refuse to call the computer by that name. I'm calling him Basil. I'm worried that this is actually really representational of what will happen. The future of AI technology is not that it will bring equality and better standards of living, but instead that we will program it structurally to reflect our already biased hierarchical notions of society, and that it will actually make things worse. Because we're seeing it right here. And normally I don't discuss this with Season 4 because it just bothers me nonstop all the time. But I want to pause and mention it here because they didn't talk about that in Origin, but I feel like they should. One of the discussions we should be having right now about the ethics of AI is not simply stealing art, but also what are we teaching AI? Are we making computers that are like this? Or are we making computers who are more like Zen? This is a moment in time when humanity has a choice to make, and we can go either way. That is both worrying, exciting, and also a huge responsibility as a species. And now, back to Blake 7.
Failure to follow them to the letter will, I fear, have fatal consequences.
Oh, that sounds unpleasantly like a threat.
It is a threat.
The Federation gave up looking for you a long time ago, Igrorian. You are a forgotten man.
Possibly. But I insist that you use the shuttle. Alone and unarmed.
Are you alone, Igrorian?
Yes. Apart from my assistant.
Then I shall bring my assistant
Yes,
to watch
his
yours.
assistant.
That is my condition. Villa, let's get to the airlock.
Me?
Well, who else? After all, you always say you feel safe with me.
It's true though.
Always speaking my mind. I'm just the sort to upset him.
Well, you'll just have to try not to, won't you?
You should take one of the girls, Avon.
I don't think he's into that.
You know, interesting. He's
No,
probably forgotten what
I
they
don't-
look like.
No.
Villa, if I didn't know you better, I would think you were trying to get out of this. Yes, of course. But I have brought a little insurance.
Wow,
Get rid of that thing. You heard
Avon.
him say he'd got a weapon scan.
In the biodome. Just in case we need it.
Okay.
You really think things through, don't you, Avon?
It will be my humble pleasure. I exist only to serve you, illustrious sir.
See what I mean?
The rumor was that he'd been helped in his getaway by someone at the very highest level.
Serverland. But why should she want to help Agrorian?
Why should Agrorian want to see Avon?
Uh-oh.
Please. There you are. You see, you haven't forgotten. Come in, please.
Oh.
This is a great honor for us. Don't we feel honored, Pinder? Merely a gauche adolescent when I took him under my wing. Weren't you, Pinder?
Adolescent?
We'll have to clear a place, I'm afraid.
This is so relatable.
There now. Which one of you is Avon?
I am.
Natural leaders are rarely encumbered with intelligence. Greed, egotism, animal
Oh, that was a great burn.
qualities I detect in you in admirably full measure.
I love how he's just like intelligently insulting him.
Do you know anything about tachyons?
Yes, I watched Stargate.
It destroys things. Instantly and completely and at any range. And this is the destruct button. Nature abhors a vacuum. It must be replaced by another command structure.
See, I told you Villa was more his type.
Hello, I want to see them rot!
I can fix that. I'll personally nail them to posts and send you the pictures.
Thank you, Villa.
Look at this. This is jealousy right here. So my question at this point is, Agrorian, I think was his name, earlier was like, I found him when he was young. Is this a result of an experiment gone wrong? Like, something happened here. And look at this expression. He is gutted to see that Villa's the new plaything. He might turn on them.
There's one other thing I'd like from you.
Yes?
Orak. Sorry. The ultimate computer in exchange for the ultimate weapon.
It's got to be a good deal.
I know.
Listen, all we have to do is point...
Orak is not a thing to give away.
It's a deal.
I'm so pleased.
All we have to do is knock out a few planets for target practice, then name our own terms. And a bodyguard of 1,000 hand-picked virgins in red fur uniforms.
Red fur? Oh, my goodness.
Serverland, for instance.
Serverland? She wouldn't do any deals with Agrorian. He's like us, outside the Federation.
We know how much you would like to get our hands on Orak.
Not enough to hand as a weapon like the Tachyon funnel.
No.
But he took the bait. He's bringing Orak here. After that, my plan is infallible.
I've waited a long time for...
I love this fabric. Look at that train.
And with me constantly by your side.
Ugh.
Your most loyal and, dare I say it, loving consort.
Mm-hmm.
And not a day has passed since then that I have not yearned.
Look at this eye roll.
All I wanted in return is a little kindness.
Good luck with that.
But I am a man of generous nature, especially in matters of the heart.
I don't buy it.
I punish failure as quickly.
I
As I
reward
reward
success.
Oh, yes. Once he realized he was dealing with someone who knew a bit about the subject, his manner changed completely.
How does this Tachyon funnel actually work, Villa?
Unlike some people around here, I don't boast about my abilities. I keep them hidden.
Oh, you certainly do.
Orak is loaded, Villa. We're ready to go. They are old and they are decrepit, especially Pinder. Villa could handle him on his own.
Pinder's old.
Late 70s, what?
Aha.
After he vanished, they started finding the bodies. He was never
Bodies?
a simple scientist.
What was he?
Power mad from his earliest days.
So I think Agrorian wants power, but he knows, as he said earlier, that he doesn't have natural charisma leadership. He needed a partner who does, Servalon, to help him take over the galaxy as a partner, and then his plan is probably to off Servalon. And now he's fully in power, no problem. So that whole act earlier about being in love with her or whatever, I don't think so. I mean, I am, but that's a separate problem. And I think he just wants her to think that and underestimate him. And the more we're learning about his character, the more I'm sure that's his plan.
Now you realize I must satisfy myself that it is the genuine machine. I suggest we get on.
It was marked Beta Plus, Egroria.
Only Beta Plus, Agro.
But seldom just the information that is requested.
That degree was subsequently rescinded for gross misconduct.
That's enough, Auric!
I love you, Auric.
When neutrons are subjected to intense magnetic force, offers radiation, 50 years in as many seconds.
So neutrons are part of the tachyon funnel.
Don't leave Aurak here. One thing he could do is make a key that looks like the key that's not really the key. Obviously use it for the demo like he did with Aurak. And then the key that he gives could have been the fake one that doesn't work. That would give us leverage and the possibility of getting Aurak back.
What's the escape velocity of this thing?
I don't know. Why don't you ask Aurak?
Okay.
They didn't just put a fake key together, they put a whole entire fake Aurak? So the switch on the side was so this fake Aurak could communicate with the real Aurak, right?
You pathetic fool. That isn't Aurak.
Highness,
Look at
I
it. It's
asked-
just a box of flashing
But
lights. I warned you about Avon, and he still tricked you. I will kill you for this.
Aurak Mark II. Just a replica I made a few months back. Contingency planning villa. It was fitted with a voice box and a relay station so that the real Aurak could run it.
Mach 15 is unattainable on the present flight configuration.
Yep.
Bury itself completely. There won't be a fire.
And you say both Aurak and the tachyon funnel can survive such a crash?
Yes, even the shuttle will be reusable after a few repairs. Villa won't survive, of course. There'll be jellyfire.
Even Servalin's disgusted by it.
Maximum power on all drives.
Aurak?
We have to jettison every last nut and bolt. Now, Villa!
Not Aurak, though.
You mean Pinder must be abandoned?
Exactly.
So be it.
Pinder's right there.
Damn it! What weighs 70 kilos?
Villa weighs 73.
Don't give him suggestions, please. Don't even think about it. Avon, if anyone deserves to get... It's not Villa. Although, to be honest, if it was a decision between me jumping off the ship and Aurak surviving, I'd jump off the ship for him. Not for Avon. Are you coming to the tree where they strung up a man? They say murder 3. Strange things did happen here. No stranger would it be if we met up at midnight in the hanging tree.
Lucy Gray, I said!
Villa, I know how they did it, but I need your help. Unless there's something embedded in it, and there isn't. Unless it's very tiny. The weight! Villa! It's a speck of neutron material, but I need your help to shift it. Villa, help me! Villa, you have got to help me! Come on!
Will it be enough? Oh, here we go. Aurak.
No. Servalan, you can't
The
do
train.
it. I served you.
You were ready to abandon me, Aquarian.
Mm-hmm.
You and Sutherland.
Now, don't be a fool!
Hovels radiation, Aquarian.
Oh my. Poetic.
Pity about the Tachyon funnel, though.
We had no choice.
It's a trip I won't forget, Avon.
Well, as you always say, Villa, you know you are safe with me.
That was really a terrifying scene when Avon was creeping around the ship. You weigh 70 kilos. Oh, would not want to be trapped on a ship with him in that situation. I think Villa did the right thing there. I loved Servalan's outfit here, mostly because of the fabric choice. Brilliant. And her earrings. I also want to give a shout out to the set decorator, because all of that kind of semi-disorganized but also kind of organized chaos with files everywhere and the chairs covered with paperwork is such a scientist intellectual problem to have. For me, it's books. I have books and notebooks everywhere. I don't live somewhere that's large enough for chairs like this. This is a rented space. But if I had room for chairs, I bet they would be perpetually covered with stacks of books. Having multiple scenes where they're like, we need a space. Was my absolute favorite touch of this episode. The concept was really interesting too, of Servalan helping him escape because she figured she could call in a favor later. And it's better to have a brilliant scientist who's very ruthless, kind of owing you a favor, than to just have him vaguely on the payroll of the Federation for now. Kind of like Avon when he created the fake Aurak months ago, thinking ahead. Servalan also thinks pretty far ahead. I mean, she starts playing that chess match before you even realize that you're going to be playing chess. I wouldn't say this is one of my favorite episodes, but I would rewatch it. I thought it was very, very intriguing. The performances were great, and I enjoyed that satisfying ending. Speaking of endings, I'm going to start borrowing something from a YouTuber named Jimmy Good, where he puts a word at the end of his videos to let me know in the comments if you actually watched to the very end. And this video, I'm going to go with Aurak. If you made it this far, mention Aurak.